Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing really well. On my first camping trip of the year, sorry to say, I haven't been camping very much lately. I think the last time I went camping was in January on the F4 road trip, and I've come out with Gavin and his stalker to San Joseph Bay in the north end of Vancouver Island, and I can't believe that it's been a year since we were last here. Actually, the last time we were here we had a workshop.
We had a workshop, yeah. It's almost a year ago today.
It's alright, we're just coming up a hill. So what would you call it? It's not backpacking, what is it? It's
glamping.
Glamping. Doing a bit of glamping here. Just bring everything in the kitchen sink and just throw it in a cart.
Because we are, after all, staying for one night. Not even 24 hours.
It's really pitiful, actually. Alright, so we made it to San Joseph Bay. Looks like it's clouding over a little bit. I hope it doesn't cloud right over, otherwise it's not going to be good light for this evening. Mind you, it looks like there's a gap in the horizon there, so it's kind of hard to tell right now. There's absolutely nobody here. I think we've seen 3 people kind of hiking around, but it's just me and Gavin and Amanda, that's it. So I'm just setting up my camp here and then go explore and see what we can find. So we've come out to the sea stacks at the end of the beach here, or the first beach at San Joseph Bay, and the sun is slowly setting to the northwest, I guess, and the sea stacks are actually in the shade right now, so they're not looking great. So we're just waiting for hopefully the clouds to get a little bit of color in them, and hopefully that'll just jazz things up a little bit. But in the meantime, I'm just wandering around trying to find other compositions and just exploring. This is really cool. I love this stuff. We have, I think this is called sea foam, and then maidenhair ferns growing out of the cliffs. And actually behind me on the other side of the cliff here, there's a cave, and that has quite a few maidenhair ferns growing kind of out of the ceiling. It's really neat looking. I've tried to photograph it several times and I just can't find a really good composition. It's kind of the same as this. It looks really neat, but I don't know as if it'll translate into an image. Okay, so the sun has gone down and the clouds have moved in. I'm not having much luck tonight. I was hoping to get a little bit of color behind these pinnacles here, but I don't think it's going to happen. These sea stacks are absolutely brilliant. They've got bonsai trees growing on the top of them, which gives them a lot of character. But the problem with them is that there's the background behind them is quite busy. If I go to the other end of these sea stacks and face the other way, then I run into the same problem. Behind the camera there's deep forest, so the sea stacks just kind of blend in with them. I'll leave a link to a video I did, I guess it's about 2 years ago now, where there was some really thick fog here, and I got some shots that I really like, because there was so much separation between the pinnacles and the background, and that's what made it work. And it was funny because it was a really hot, I think it was in July or August, and the whole province was having a heat wave, but on the coast here there was a lot of coastal fog, and luckily I was able to take advantage of it. All right, so I'd more or less given up, and I was just walking back to the tent. My tent is maybe 100 meters just this way, and I was feeling a little bit deflated. But I found this scene here that I actually really quite like. I love the textures in it. Now, it's not going to be in your face dramatic or anything like that, but there's some beautiful little colors in here. The salal has some great flowers on it, and then I'm not quite sure what the white flower is. I can't remember what it's called now, but it has some really great leaves on there. And then we have the grasses, and there's also a conifer down here that has new growth on it, and also this conifer here. So everything has a nice freshness to it, and I just love all the textures. It almost feels like a nurtured garden, and that's one of the things that gardeners always go for, is textures and different colors that contrast with one another or complement one another. And that's kind of how I feel about this scene here. I'm just trying to figure out a composition. If I shoot it straight on here, the flower, or the big white flower on the left, it's directly behind the one in the background, and it doesn't look right to me. Somehow I feel that I need to be more to the side, so that we have the three flowers kind of on angles of one another. When they're kind of straight behind one another, it just doesn't work for me. So I'm going to keep playing around. I love the grasses in the foreground too. There's these kind of sweeping grasses. I mean, perhaps I should just concentrate on the grasses and just the two white flowers at the base. So I might try that, and then also try the whole scene with the trees and also the shrubs and the flowers in the foreground. But like I said, it's not going to be dramatic. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I just really love the textures and so on.
How do you like your steak, Adam?
Medium.
Medium. How do you like yours, love?
It's done.
It's done.
Really? You like it raw?
Ooh.
I like a medium.
Oh, I hate that. I just did a whole piece to camera and I didn't turn the record button on. I do that so many times, so I'll have to repeat myself. Pretty cold last night. It was really kind of damp and I was quite chilled to the bone, even though I have a sleeping bag that goes down to -12. For whatever reason, I was just cold. This morning it's clouded over, so we're all going to head out, and there's a waterfall kind of on the way home that I've never been to. So we're hoping there's enough water there to you know, so it looks half decent to photograph. So that's kind of the plan now. What are you doing in the background? He was doing something, wasn't he?
I was just waving. Well, if I don't kibosh your shots, I don't end up in an Adam Gibbs vlog. It's the only way to get in.
Oh, well, you can come in.
Well, you know, you never invite me in.
So here, you got to stand here though. So did you get anything yesterday?
I got an extremely mediocre shot. Yeah.
I mean, all I photographed, I didn't photograph the sea stacks. I managed to find some foliage,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It looks good, but
I got a good shot at the fireplace
oh yeah,
with
that's
those
right.
light rays coming through the smoke. That's about it.
So Gavin's got this fancy new lamp, Lume Cube. What's it called? Lume
The
Cube.
Panel Mini from Lume Cube.
So we were trying that out last night. Actually, that shot did look cool.
Yeah, but for me, for the vlogging thing at night, I think it's going to work. We'll test it in the car and see if we look better in the car at night.
Okay, I was just on our way back to the parking lot, and I noticed this on the way in. All along the side of the trail here, there's lots of bunchberry, which is related to dogwood, I believe. And the bunchberry, in the spring, they flower. They have these lovely white flowers, and then later in the summer, early fall, they have all these little red berries on them, and they're really pretty, and they're lining the whole of the trail here, mixed in with skunk cabbage, which is another native species for this area. So I'm just taking a couple of quick close-ups. Unfortunately, though, with the Fuji, the lenses that I have, you can't focus that close. The 32 to 64 isn't too bad. But it would have been nice to get in just a little bit closer, and the only way to do that would be to either use some kind of extension tube, which you can buy for this camera, or perhaps a diopter, like a filter that you would put on the front. But it's hard to find good quality diopters. Maybe at one point I'll invest in an extension tube. The problem is just more stuff to carry, and that's the problem, because I already have way too much stuff as it is. But yeah, this is really quite pretty. So Amanda's almost finished packing Gavin's stuff, and then she just has to come over here and put my take my tent down, and we'll be done.
Come and say, this is a historic event. We've both been invited into an Adam Gibbs vlog.
Come and say hello, Tim.
Hello, Tim. I'm almost done packing.
Should we just keep awkwardly?
Oh, we're supposed to be social distancing. Oh yeah, it's the elbow, isn't it?
How do you like your new tent?
It's pretty good, except there is fillet inside.
Oh, that's soaked, eh?
Yeah, it's condensation.
Ooh,
So,
that's not good.
but it's a single wall tent, so there's not much you can, you know. But there's lots of ventilation. So, but it's pretty damp here. So, how wet is your tent?
Well, the rain fly is totally soaked.
Yeah. So, it's just so. I mean, everything's damp. My packs are damp. Everything. So,
Moisture in the air.
these single wall tents are great when it's cold out or when you're in the mountains, but in a damp area like this, they're probably not the best thing.
Not good. Yeah. So useless for where we.
But I didn't get wet, so
Just cold.
it's a nice little tent actually. I like the side opening.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like how quickly it went together as well.
Yeah, it's the same as that yellow one, just
Yeah.
a different design, slightly different.
Just the one side door though, or is there two?
Hopefully Nick won't be running over this one.
Yeah, you better not.
Ran one over?
Yeah, my yellow one.
Oh.
He dragged it and ran over it.
I don't think we should mention it.
Oh yeah,
I
right.
don't think we should talk about the F4 road trip.
Yeah, that's a sore point.
Yeah. How dare we try and create something special and charge money for it.
Well, that's it.
Well, thanks for the invite to your vlog. It's a historic occasion. See ya.
And don't come back.